Good morning to Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch. How are you, Mayor?
I'm well. Good morning, Joe. A little nippy this morning.
Just a bit. This is what I call pipe freezing weather.
That's true. Very true. Yeah, of course it is January. This is usually the coldest month of the year, so it makes sense.
Absolutely. How did the city weather the first snowstorm of the season?
I thought the DPW and the crews, they did an excellent job. And we were a little concerned because with the COVID issue, a lot of the contractors, you have different drivers, and sometimes if somebody's new to a route, they miss a street or two, and, all of a sudden we got some challenges. But overall, really it was a great effort, and everything was black. I was very happy with the results. And then, of course, over the weekend, we did do some snow removal in some of the business districts and around some of the schools and so forth, because we weren't sure how much melting was going to happen, Joe. And then, of course, you get into this kind of weather, and then the snowbanks turn into concrete, and you'll never move them until you get a real good thaw. So we try to stay ahead of it and think like that. I got a note from an email from someone that wasn't happy about it, questioning why we're doing that when we're having the melting. It's not everyone's always happy, but we do the best we can. But I thought overall it went well.
They must have forgot about 2015.
Yeah, right?
Don't never want to get into. We had a lot of winter still to go through, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can we talk a little bit, Mayor, about the changes to the Fox Rock Properties development proposal for downtown Quincy?
Oh, sure, absolutely. The new proposal is it still includes the medical component, but the building got much larger, and it's going to be medical and life science, biotech, life science. That is the world this region is living in right now, particularly Boston, Cambridge, and Quincy's become very attractive to that industry, being on the Red Line, proximity to the highway, and the great city that we have for all kinds of reasons. So that's the new proposal, which is about 250,000 square feet of commercial. There'd be roughly a 500 car parking garage, and some retail. I want to say 30 to 50,000 of retail in and around the garage. So it is different from the other proposal, but quite frankly, I'm fine with it. The other proposal had a large residential building. We're going to have other residential buildings in the downtown, so I'd prefer to see a little bit more commercials, and this kind of meets that. We said right along we wanted a mixed use, Joe. So residential and retail and restaurant, entertainment, and commercial, and this kind of meets that commercial demand that we're shooting for. Commercial, by the way, is better for our tax levy as well. Pays higher in taxes, so it's a change, but I think it's a good change, and they're going to be in the ground by late spring, early summer. So this is exciting.
So the 20-story building component has been eliminated. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
20-story building, which was going to be a combination residential hotel, has been eliminated. Having said that, we've got 3 buildings going up, residential. Sometime later this year, they'll be in the ground. So we'll have plenty of residential piece of it. And that side of the square was always envisioned a little bit more commercial. So I think it's falling into place, really what was first envisioned. No, this is a good thing. I'm happy with it.
So does Fox Rock still control that property, though, where that building was going to go?
Oh, yeah. So that property where there was going to be the 2 buildings in the garage is going to be one larger building, one garage, and some retail on it.
Okay.
So it's the same piece of property north of the bridge, south of Granite Street, squeezed between McConville and Bergen.
Okay. And does it require a new LDA from the city council or no?
The lawyers are looking at that. I don't think so, because the medical was in there initially. The LDA sets out the parameters. I think the parameters are very similar. The detail of the project has changed, but the parameters have not changed. So I don't believe it needs a change, no.
Okay. Speaking of that area, I understand that the General's Bridge is about ready to accept traffic.
Yes, His Excellency Governor Baker's coming out Thursday. I think around 1:15 we're going to cut the ribbon and officially open it up for traffic. As you know, Joe, the state paid for the bridge, so the governor couldn't be with us the day of the dedication because he was at the Massachusetts 9/11 Memorial that morning, the same time as the General's Bridge was dedicated. So I know he wanted to get out here and certainly honor the generals with his presence at some point. So he's coming out this Thursday. We look forward to getting it opened, and and see how traffic starts to use it. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's. I know there's some changes proposed for the Hannon Parkway as well. When are those supposed to take place?
That should happen under this next construction season. Yeah, that's so we're moving that kind of intersection signal at the parking way further east. So the new intersection will be at the Hannon and McConville way. So that allows us to free up a little bit that lane in Bergen Parkway where people get kind of backed up. If they're coming in, taking the right, and then they're going right on the parking way, they get all backed up. So this way, it gives us far more queuing space. We don't need the light going in there much longer anyway. There's very little commercial left in there, and that's probably going to change in the near future. So this is always kind of part of the master plan and chipping away at this master plan. So I think this will help with the traffic situation.
And using the General's Bridge, it's right turns only. Is that right? Onto and
That's
off
correct.
of? Yeah.
That's correct, yep.
And will there be lights there as well?
There will be no lights there.
Okay.
Nope. In fact, the installed an island on Bergen so that it doesn't allow you to take the left turn in anyway.
Okay.
So it's we didn't think it warranted another light between Granite and Hannon, and being the right turn in, right turn out, I think it's adequate.
Yep.
So it's another egress in and out of the downtown. And people will say, geez, what do we need that for? But as the downtown continues to get built out, people will understand the need for it. And I think it'll help continue to generate the interest in our investment, but also make the development real.
Well, it sounds like it would be a perfect access to the new Fox Rock development.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And whatever else happens on that IHOP spot, it's another entrance. We always looked at it as the back door before. But now with all that new development over there, it's going to be the front door for that side of the square. So it's a very different feel over there now.
And the LBC properties at near the Kilroy Square area, how are those coming along?
Yeah, so they're broken into two pieces from the planning department viewpoint. One is called R3, which is the corner of Hancock and Hannon and Revere. That proposal is being finalized with LBC, and I think it's coming into the planning department for formal review. I know they've had some informal review, so that will start to move certainly over the next couple of months from the permit perspective. The other section over by Chestnut, that nothing's been submitted yet on that. We've asked them actually just to split them into two so that it's more digestible for the planning board and the planning department. There's an awful lot of activity right now in our city, and we're trying to do it in pieces so it's a little bit more workable.
Okay, very good. I couldn't help but notice, Mayor, the city has a redesigned website. What's the story behind that?
Well, every so often they should be updated, refreshed, and obviously nothing is perfect. So the last one was great, but as time goes on, you see ways how it can be improved, how can it be more user friendly. And I did get some emails from the public actually this week already saying, gee, this is wonderful, a woman paying her bills, and she found it far more easier for her to get through it and pay her bills through the Treasurer Collector's Office. So, it's another great tool that we use in government, just like business uses today, to, one, communicate with the public, with the residents and citizens, but also the tools on there to allow them to navigate and get the information they need or pay the bills that they need to pay online as well. So, it's a different world, as we know, Joe. So we got to keep up with the new world, right?
Was it done in-house, or was it hired out?
I think it was a combination. I think there was an outside consultant that worked with our in-house people.
Okay, very good. How is the city faring in the current stage of the pandemic, Mayor?
Well, just like everybody else, Joe.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We heard the predictions that this variant was going to be fast-moving through society, that was spreading very rapidly and easily, far more than the Delta variant did. The flip side is, as the medical community has said, this is far less severe on people than the Delta was. So with it moving so quickly, perhaps, by the springtime we'll be in good shape. Every family and persons that I know, they've all been touched by it.
Yep.
It's incredible. Anyone you talk to now. We've got a lot of city employees that are out with it. Of course, the holidays contributes to that as well, everyone being together. So we'll get through it. We have good protocols, as you know, in place. our health department does an outstanding job working with Manet, our school department, and the nurses, and the pool testing going on in the schools. I mean, we're doing everything we can to mitigate this and to monitor it and make sure that people are safe. So we'll keep doing that. But if you look around the state and the world, it's not unique to Quincy.
Right.
It is happening.
Always good to talk to you, Mayor. Appreciate your time.
Well, same here, Joe, and stay warm.
Yes, throw another log on the fire.
Absolutely. All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.